Why does this have a 9? Okay, Hurricane Fluttershy. So obviously this will be about Fluttershy, seeing as she's in the title. I'm guessing she's gonna get like really angry though, and go on like a rampage. I don't know. People are gonna make fun of her again. That's what it's gonna be, yeah. It's gonna be a bullying episode. I'm probably way off. I mean, can't go on much with just the title. I'm out of things to talk about, like to mention about this show. I've talked about the storyline, the characters, the animation, the voice acting, the plot lines of each episode, why I think it's boring, why it's terrible, and this thing still has not gone anywhere. I mean, really. And it's not like it's SpongeBob where every episode is just so like insane and memorable. Like, I mean, there's so many quotes from every episode of like the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob. It's like every one is a masterpiece. Then every one of these is so forgettable. So it's like there's nothing to talk about. I forget who it was, but there was this one guy I was watching on YouTube, and he was talking about the like new seasons of Star, I think, and he was mentioning how this show, My Little Pony, had like a plot line on the same level, which especially in the last season of Star, like towards the end, it's like basically every episode is just one continuous part of the same story. It's really not episodic at all at that point. It's just each episode is just a cliffhanger. Like, there's no sense of story at all in this show, so when does that start, if ever? I think that was the same bit of animation from the intro, the first like little intro scene. So there's a meeting. Okay, so what's with this meeting? Wait, Twilight lives in the library?
Library tonight!
I thought this was her house. Okay, so she doesn't want to go to this thing. Yeah, that shot right there in the intro. They just copy pasted that for the start of this episode. What is with this video? So they're just spelling out what the plot's gonna be, that they have to make these tornadoes. This is just straight exposition. Okay then. Okay, spelling out the plot as usual. Okay, so Fluttershy's not gonna want to do this training thing. What the? Okay then, that guy was weird. And Fluttershy is gone. How surprising. Oh, so she's gonna pretend to be sick? The pony pox? Why did I expect anything else but the pony pox? Why would they call it anything else? Ugh. No, I guess that's how you wear a shirt as a horse. Horsing around. Get it? Cause they're horses. So what, is this gonna be another stage fright thing? Like that other episode with the Rainbow had to do the competition thing? Why exactly does it even matter that they break the record? I don't know. It's a really low stake in this episode. This is so boring. What? So she's just over-explaining how it, yeah, she's just using fancy words to sound smart. What? Did he fart? And that's why? What is that? I think that's the 3rd time they've had the buff guy go, yeah, and that's the joke. I don't know. I mean, there's a sense of story, I guess. Like, it's not just random scenes. They are actually progressing the story as to what needs to happen, I guess. I guess I actually kind of guessed it with the bullying. I mean, that's not the focus, but it's part of it. Oh my god, and she's happy. Well, no one cares that she's slow. It's just all in her head. I can relate to this feeling though, so it's like I get the same exact feeling when I try to present in front of people. So it's like I can relate to this. I can actually relate to this. Wow. And then you go on your own and just do things that make you feel better. Still pretty boring though. Like an episode of Star, like Just Friends. That episode has this really good like representation of how it feels like you're kind of a loner, like Marco in that episode, when you're all nervous about hanging out with other people and how you feel like you're just screwing everything up. But that episode is able to also be really interesting while also showing how something, works and feels. Whereas this is just kind of mostly boring. Oh, that looked fucking weird. She's like doing push-ups but using wings, and it looked like she had hands all of a sudden. It looked like a cursed image. I don't know what it is doing push-ups with wings, that just something very uncomfortable about that. It's like such a cursed image. So what, now she's gonna get like two speed? Oh, here comes Fluttershy. Now she's gonna be fast. No, honestly, I think she's just gonna get like 2 speed. How is she actually gonna like be fast?
2.3.
I fucking called it. Like, I guess with a lot of concepts, they like represent certain ideas like accurately, I guess. Like ideas of friendship or whatever, but it's like, it's still so boring and poorly made. It's just like, whatever. At its best, this show is a mediocre kids show. At its worst, this show is literal torture. What, they're actually all sick? Can't Twilight just lift the water with her magic? Oh, so they're gonna be at like 799, and they're gonna need Fluttershy to help her? Wait, why are they falling out of the thing? I don't know, there's not enough of them. I don't know, I haven't really had much to say. It's just them flying, and obviously they're gonna be at like 799, and so they're not gonna be enough, but then that little bit that Fluttershy is gonna provide will be what brings it up. I'm just kind of waiting for it to happen at this point.
795!
Yep, well, and now she's gonna get like 3 bajillion power or something. Wait a minute, so that asshole was just sitting there, he's like wait, that's so dumb. That one guy is like supposed to be the best flyer in the fucking world. Why was he just sitting there, not helping at all? Like, what? He goes, this is wholesome. It's not that painful, but again, it's just a mediocre kids show. Whatever. Okay, this one was okay, I guess. Still just mediocre though. I mean, really. Like, this show at its best is a very mediocre kids show. Like, your average, forgettable nothingness. Or something like, say, Gravity Falls or Rick and Morty. I mean, Rick and Morty's not a kids show, obviously, but shows like those are just so unforgettable, and they're so well made. There's so much going on. And this is just mediocre. And then at its worst, it's like, it's pain. It's just pain. But okay, so the plot of this one, so the Pegasus is, they need to make a tornado first. I don't know why it's a tornado. Whatever, they have to make a tornado to bring water up to the cloud place, whatever it was. They need everyone there to do it, to contribute, because they need like all of their power or whatever. And then Fluttershy is too nervous to help, and so then she just decides not to. And then it's important because they're gonna break a record for the amount of power they have. But then like 8 of the Pegasuses don't show up, and so then they have like 1 less power than they need. And then so even though Fluttershy can barely provide anything, it's just enough to get them over the limit, or over the like requirement. And so then eventually she's able to get past her fears and go up in the thing and provide her like 2 power. And then the lesson is, every little bit counts. And if you believe in yourself, then it'll work out. Okay. I mean, there was several points where it's like, okay, they're definitely getting this right as far as like how stage fright feels and how it can affect you, and then how you can overcome it. There was one point where Fluttershy was showing testing how fast she could be in the group of everyone, and then everyone else was getting, a number or a speed around 10, but she got 0.5, and then no one really cared. No one was saying anything about it. They were just keeping it to themselves. But then she just heard the people in her head that were bullying her when she was a kid. So that was a good visual thing for that kind of feeling. The episode had a few moments kind of like that. That's really it. It was still mostly just boring. Nothing. I mean, okay, there was a story happening, and it wasn't just disconnected scenes. Like, you couldn't just rearrange these scenes, whereas say the ticket one, you could have put any of those scenes with any of those characters in any order and it wouldn't have mattered at all. Whereas there's actually like a progression to Fluttershy's character throughout the episode as she changes. Still just a mediocre show though. I guess maybe I can sort of see, like, I guess if you can relate to a lot of these issues, then I guess, but then pretty much all of these are things that kids exclusively deal with. I mean, some of these, like stage fright, that's the thing that a lot of people have. And learning responsibility, like, and that's what a bunch of these episodes have been. I think standing up for yourself. I'm trying to think of the recent episodes and what the lessons were. Not worrying about things. Like, it's all shit that little kids would mostly relate to. Whereas something like Rick and Morty and BoJack Horseman, those shows have these bizarre, really existential questions that adults would relate to. Like, why am I here? Why am I depressed all the time? What is the meaning of life? What is happiness? Like, and then, going even deeper into those topics. That's one of the things that makes those shows so beloved by adults. But I don't get how adults like this shit. Whatever. Actually, no. I'll give this a 5 out of 10. It's just your average episode of a kids show. Nothing of note. Just whatever.